YouTube probably is not going to like this video, but I think it's something that I really need to talk about, and we really need to talk about as creators. Hey everybody, so as you know, I just picked up one of these pretty cool little Polaroid instant cameras. This is the Polaroid 600 One-Stop Express, and I thought what would be cooler than to come out here kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm out just kind of in the hills of Colorado right now, kind of just doing a hike, playing with this guy. I'm really getting out and relaxing, and that's what I really wanted this video to be about. So I'm out here, I'm away from all the cars, the noise, physically and metaphorically, all the noise of the city. YouTube probably is not gonna like this video, but I think it's something that I really need to talk about, and we really need to talk about as creators. Depression. I'm not gonna dance around the word. Depression is out there, and it seems that a lot of creators struggle with depression. I made a couple posts about it on Twitter, and there was a pretty good response to it, so I figured I would make this video talking about creativity and depression. Now, depression is different for everybody. It hits everybody different. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses and levels of pain, realistically, that they go through. Depression, I think, is a lot of pain. It's a lot of hopelessness. I think that's the key word when you're talking about kind of being down and being depressed and dealing with the depression. It is definitely a fight. So I deal with a little bit of depression myself, and there are days where I want to make a video, I want to go shoot photos, I want to go do something, and I just can't. I physically can't get off the couch. I can't get out of bed. I can't force myself to do anything. I don't think social media has helped us with this at all. I think it's made it a lot worse. That's my personal opinion. You could just distance yourself from everybody, and you kind of give yourself this false reality of having yourself surrounded by people that aren't really there. So yeah, this is a topic that hits home with me a lot, and that's why I want to talk about this and just kind of do a little vlog about it. So today, I brought my little Polaroid camera out with me. Just picked it up yesterday. I've only taken 2 shots on it so far. This for me is how I overcome my depression and my feelings of anxiety and hopelessness. I come out here, I love nature, I love photography. When I'm combining the two, when I'm combining nature and photography, that's where it's at for me. That's how I fight depression. Like I said, depression is a fight, and you're gonna have to fight it, and you can't let it win, and I refuse to let depression win. And I made a little autobiography, a little black and white short film about 2 minutes long, kind of about myself and about my struggles with depression growing up. And it's kind of a conceptual piece, and I think if you guys want to see that, it really gets into who I am, and I think that's important. If I'm gonna have this YouTube channel and I have 5,000, almost 6,000 people following me right now, I think it's important just to be real with you guys, kind of open myself up a little bit, and this is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's okay. If you do like it, that's great. But my goal here is to be as authentic on this channel as I can be, and through photography and me hiking and just kind of being out here by myself. This is real for me. This is how I recharge, capturing moments, and this is really how I recharge. That's why I picked up this little Polaroid guy. I don't have to go on my computer and edit photos. I don't have to get distracted posting photos on Twitter, on Instagram, or on my Facebook page. And I can literally it's just this. It's me, and it's my little Polaroid camera. And by no means is this an ad for Polaroid. I'm just super excited that I picked this guy up the other day. It's been a lot of fun, and I've only been playing with it for a couple hours, but I used to have something kind of similar to this when I was a kid, and I love the whole like green vibe with nature because like this is me, this like personifies me. But I can take this out, it can just be me and my Polaroid camera, I can document what's around me, and then I can bring those little shots back, I can post them around my office, and when I'm feeling crappy, when I'm feeling down, I can look at those photos and remind myself like what's out there, how I recharge, and this is me. Being in the military isn't easy. It's one of the harder things I've done, just being away from people you know, being away from people that you care about and the people that care about you. It's not easy, and the Air Force right now has a huge struggle with depression and suicide, and that really sucks. And I know that creative people are hit by this super hard, and I don't think that's just a coincidence. I think creative people really struggle with depression, and art kind of helps you get over that, helps you fight that, it helps distract you from that crushing pain sometimes. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not here to give anybody advice, but I just know my struggle, I know my battles, and I know how I get through it, and I get through it through photography, through art, through creating things, and through being out in nature, sometimes with friends, sometimes just by myself, just to kind of cool off, relax, take that nice deep breath of fresh air. You probably can't hear it or see it, but there's birds chirping, there's a nice cool breeze, it's about 70 degrees. There's probably nobody around me for a mile or two. I'm just kind of out here, I hear the birds, the crickets, the bees, everything. And it's just so peaceful to me, and this is how I recharge and I get away from the stress of my job, because sometimes when my job is to be a photographer for the military, it's hard to come home and then still want to shoot photos. It's hard to come home and shoot photos and then make a video about how I shot the photos or behind the scenes. So sometimes I need this time by myself, but I wanted to bring you guys with me because I thought this was super important. And feel free, let me know down below in the comments if I'm just rambling on. Let me know if you've ever struggled with depression, because this isn't gonna be a one-time video. This is something, I've been dealing with this as long as I can remember. I think I've kind of been fighting kind of some light to moderate depression since I was in high school. And there are days where I don't leave my house for 2 days, 3 days at a time. The only thing that gets me out of bed sometimes is work, knowing that the military is gonna be pissed if I don't show up for work, so I gotta be there. But sometimes when it's just me under my own power to go somewhere, I don't do it. So I've been trying to make an effort since I'm out here in Colorado. This is gorgeous. So I've been trying to make this effort to come out here, take that deep breath of fresh air, relax, come out here with this camera, any of my other cameras. I love going out with sometimes just my GH5 or my mirrorless Z6, and they're silent. Sometimes I don't want to hear that shutter. Sometimes I just like the silence of myself and nature. And if you've never gone for a hike, if you never just strapped on your camera and gone 2 or 3 miles, sometimes maybe it's just a city park if that's all you have. When I lived in New York, it was Central Park, or I'd drive a couple hours north up into the Adirondacks. It's not easy everywhere you live, but sometimes it's just as simple as that, going to a park, going for a stroll, that recharge, getting away from technology sometimes. There are pros and cons to everything, and technology has its negatives and it has its downsides that I think we've ignored for a long time. And I think we've ignored the fact that technology helps us, but technology also hurts us. And we're gonna have to do something about that. And I highly recommend that you find your way to recharge and to get away from the world if that's what it takes, or get into the world if that's what cures you. And I don't mean cures, but you gotta find your way to kind of temporarily fix. I know sometimes it's just a Band-Aid. Coming out here, for me, it's just kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a wound. It temporarily fixes the problem. I'm not fully healed, and I'm not gonna lie, I still have my hard days, even when I go hiking. Sometimes I go back and it was rough, but this gets me through the days sometimes. And photography does the same thing. And sometimes, if you're a painter, maybe doing a painting where you just close yourself off from the world and you paint for hours. Or maybe you bring in a couple friends and you just talk for hours and paint or photograph. Like, I really loved being in the studio when I was at school and I was attending Syracuse. I got my Syracuse shirt on me right now. I really enjoyed just being in the studio with a couple friends, 2 or 3. Not a huge group because I'm kind of an introvert. But I really, really enjoyed just being in the studio. Or we would set up these kind of like photo studio dates at people's houses. We'd order pizza, have a couple beverages, and just kind of kick back, take some photos, set up some LED lights in my buddy's basement, have a bonfire, take some photos, and just those are the real moments. And again, this is a fun little guy to take around and just capture those real moments. If you've never shot film, there's something about film as well that it feels real. And I recommend you guys give film a try. You can pick up a super cheap camera. Like, there's something real about shooting analog that digital it doesn't have. Digital just feels empty. And I think that's a little bit of a metaphor for this whole depression and being down and being sad thing I'm talking about. Digital when we made this whole switch to digital, I grew up shooting with one of these. This was a camera just like this, which I'm still trying to find, was one of my first cameras. It was my parents', but they let me shoot on it. And I have the original film camera that I used to shoot on when I was a kid. I used to love taking pictures of cars, old classic cars. My favorite car was a 1957 Chevy Bel Air. I have so many little 5x7 prints of that car. I would take pictures of it whenever I'd see one, whether it was a disposable camera, a Polaroid, a film camera. And my parents supported me with that hobby, and began to realize as I grew up, it wasn't the classic cars that I loved so much. It was the capturing of a moment in time that I will never get back. And if I don't capture it, or someone else doesn't capture it, it's gone forever. Life is always changing. And while change is hard, this is kind of a little way that I can hold on to it forever, or as long as I have that little Polaroid photo. And I know I've been rambling on. It's probably been 10, 20 minutes now. But this is me. This is my life. This is how I cope with my depression, my being down, and my pain. This doesn't fix me, but it makes me a lot better. If you related to this at all, or if you even made it this far in the video, thank you for listening. I want to do more little vlogs like this where it's just me and you, and we're just being real out here. I love this. This is actually the first time I've been to this area. I think I'm gonna come back a lot. There's a ton of trails around here. I'm in central Colorado, between Colorado Springs and Denver right now. Doing a lot of photography up in Denver. I'm gonna be dropping some new photos soon. You guys might like that. But I'm not gonna call out for you guys just to like subscribe to my channel right now, because that's not what this video is about. This video, I couldn't care less about subscribers. I couldn't care less about watch time, any of that junk. I just care about being real. And if this video helps one person just kind of think about something differently, I hope it helps out. That'll be if one person finds this video useful in the slightest bit, it'll be worth it to me, the effort that I put into it. But if you found this useful at all, helpful, if you can relate to this, if you've battled with depression, if you have a way that you use to cope, because that's right now with the medical technology we have and advancements, I think that's about all we can do. I'm not a doctor, I don't know much about this, but let me know in the comments. I want to talk to you. Just let me know, talk to me. I'm cool, I'm open. I try and reply to every single comment on here. And yeah, that's about it for this video, for this weekend. I'm gonna try and work on another video midweek. I've been trying super hard, and yeah, it's been stressful, but I've been trying super hard to get 2 videos out a week now. A lot of people wanted that, and I really want to build up this channel as a creative community, a creative wealth of knowledge. So that's all for this video. I will see you guys hopefully midweek, and until next time, get out, de-stress, and go shoot.